Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can call me Miss T. Today's segment is about the wellness, finding the health in you. I do this show every Sunday at 1 p.m. Um, First thing we do all the time is do a water check, but I'll get into that when we come back. Welcome back to this episode of Finding the Health in You. This is Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm TDT. You can call me Miss T. We always do a water check at the beginning of the show. It's my fourth water. As of right now at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I shoot for 100 ounces. In case anybody new to the show, we shoot for 100 ounces a day. We can do a gallon, which would be 128 ounces, but we shoot for 100 per day. So every day, like when I do my boxing show, I talk about water, the importance of water. And the two most important time that you should drink water would be first thing in the morning to get the engine running, the engine being your body, and right before you lay it down to go to sleep, because the body does a lot of work while you sleep. So that's why we do the water check. Today, I'm drinking my meal, lunch, whatever you want to call it. My mom actually had this made. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's got my logo on it, but thanks, Mom. So I drink my drinks in it. It stays cool. This kind of can. I love this can because it stays cool. And you want to drink your drinks. To me, I do. Just say me. Want to drink my drinks when they're cool or cold. So we're gonna be talking about, the usual that we talk about on finding the health in you. And we're going to be answering some questions that you guys send me. I do want to reiterate. I had a contest going. I didn't tell the channel, but I was doing it locally, and it was keeping with the holiday spirit. I was giving away. This channel is giving away a 55-inch color TV, Samsung Smart GLED TV, and the contest ended Thursday, December 30th. Everyone who knew about the contest had to email me how many times I said a key phrase. If y'all saw me saying wink, wink in the last couple of weeks, that was the contest. So, unfortunately, no one won. The contest did not include Alaska, Hawaii, um, Caribbean islands, Puerto Rico, any U.S. territory or overseas, just the 48. Because, I promise that if someone send me the correct answer, I will mail it to them. No one won. So I have a dilemma. I have this 55-inch TV. I don't need another TV in my house. And we TV tied up in here. Matter of fact, we got some used TVs that we need to give away, but probably take it to Goodwill. So I was having a dilemma like, what should I do with this TV? Should I take it back to the store because I didn't open it? Or should I do another raffle? And I'm thinking I'm gonna do another raffle. As long as I don't open it, I guess I can always take it back to the store. So that's what's up. Y'all stay tuned for that. Um, and I will do it. I'll do another raffle when I reach about 1,200 subscribers. And during the show, I'm gonna ask like 3 questions that if you watch the show, you'll know the answer to. So let's get these subscribers up. Doesn't matter what shows you watch. Um, if you watch my show, I'm gonna ask you questions that y'all hear me say all the time. It kind of go along with me, myself, and I. So if you be watching the show, then you kind of know me, myself, and I, and so you can probably figure out the answer. Um, so what we're gonna start off talking about today. So as I put in the thumbnail, I said finding the health in you. And that's a common title that I do all the time. And we're gonna talk about food, wellness, and fitness. So we're gonna first start off with fitness. And I picked the last one. It's no particular order, but we're gonna start off with fitness. So I get a lot of questions about like, why don't you talk that much about fitness? Why aren't you like into it? And I was like, I'm not against fitness. Fitness is a good thing. It brings a lot of health benefits to each and every one of us. We should be able to get up and walk from here to, the parking lot or down the street or a couple of miles with greatest of ease. All of us should. Not unless you somebody who can't walk, that goes without saying, like babies and stuff. But everybody else should be able to do that real easy. And if you can't, then you already know what your issues are or what have you. So but fitness is good because it helps the heart. It can exacerbate in a good way your physique, or how your body is formed. It can aid you into to whatever sports you're engaging in. So like if you want to play something like basketball, you have to have some endurance or stamina because you're running back and forth up and down the court. Or soccer, you're running all over the field. So again, when you're moving like that, your blood is pumping. So, your heart is, getting a good exercise because the heart is a muscle. And so fitness is good. One of the fitnesses that a lot of people overlook is they overlook what you call it, strength training. A lot of people, especially women, do not like strength training, and you should. Is if you thinking about cutting weight and all that, that's the way to go. If you're thinking about bulking up, that's the way to go. But there's a proper way to do it and an improper way to do it. And I suggest that anybody who engages in strength training, especially women, you got to think about how you want your physique to look. If you never done it before, ladies, then when you do start doing strength training, um it might be kind of weird to you because sometimes if you never done it before, you might not know exactly how your body or physique is going to react to the strength training, how it's going to look in the end if you never done it before. But if you also if you never done it before, you want to make sure that you're doing it in the proper way that's going to bring you the physique that you want. Because I know men don't care, but women do not want to bulk up. They do not want to be thick and muscular and all that. But to women who are scared that they're gonna bulk up, like a man, like how them big humps in your neck and all this other good stuff, that's not gonna happen. So right here, right now, is part of finding the health in you when I say you have to reprogram your mind. Doing strength training, meaning lifting weights, and doing resistance training, that's all about weights. Um, it will never give you anywhere close to the physique of a man. The only way that can happen is if you go above and beyond and that is like taking drugs or banned substances and stuff like that. Banned substance. I be wondering sometimes, like, how far the ban go. Like, we know it's banned for professional athletes, but what about for just a regular Joe on the street? Some of those substances are illegal, so you don't want to be, caught with those, or you don't want to do it. Period to your body. Even the men, if y'all doing it, I would advocate not to do it. But I know people gonna do what they want to do, so. But I will be a strong advocate against taking steroids or whatever. You can maximize the gift you already have, and that's what God gave you, your own body. You're perfect the way He made you. So I would like people to. I would advocate also that you recognize that and understand that, and embrace it, because you are perfect the way He made you. No matter how He made you, you're perfect. And there's ways to get more out of what you already have, and you can carve it how you want to carve it. But strength training is a good thing. Exercise, period, is a good thing. And I hope I answered the question to someone who sent me that email. Thanks for that question, because I do want to be clear. I'm not anti-physical fitness at all. In fact, I'm for it. However, a lot of times when we talking about finding the health in you, people attributed that to just dropping weight. And that's never what I'm just talking about. So they think, because I be like, oh, we're not worried about fitness and all this stuff. You can lose weight and do this, that, and all that with just dropping weight. Well, fitness is a part of it. But while you're on your journey in the beginning, fitness is the one thing that I found, unless you're used to that type of stuff or you crave that type of stuff, it's the one thing that I found that served as a derailment to people who trying to go on their journey. Why? Because either you haven't done it before, it's not easy, it's unpleasant, it's a headache. It's a headache straight up. Who wants to get up every day on a routine and run, or do some physical fitness, especially when you're really, really, really overweight? Nobody wants to do that. So a lot of times, if that's what it's going to take, a lot of people be like, whatever. But people might be more disciplined in other ways, like just changing how they eat. They might be more disciplined, that way. I know a lot of you have gone on this journey with me, and y'all know I do the water check all the time. I know a lot of you have, started drinking water just by hearing that every day. It's a motivator, right? And so a lot of you have just started drinking water. The slow walk, I call it the slow walk journey, because I invite everybody to go on that with me. I'm doing it a little bit more harder. And I've explained what makes me different from most of you. Um, and you can go back and check out my previous videos to explain why this method works for everybody, especially me, but how it works for me doesn't work for you. Like basically saying, however, my results come in, they're gonna be so much far behind what your results will come in, and that's because I already have damage that I cannot repair. But I'm not gonna get into that. Y'all can go back and look at that, and you will see that I talk a lot about my thyroid gland and the fact that I don't have one. So that right there put me behind the curveball, amongst other things. But just so we clear, I am an advocate of fitness. I do believe in it. I do love it. I do like it myself. Um, but I have limitations because, as I said, I got damage already. You may not have limitations. So the journey that I prepare for you is specifically catered to you. And fitness is important. But while we first things first, let's clean house, and then let's start putting stuff back in the house. So clean the house will be detoxing yourself, finding the health in you, and then start adding back. to your what's going to be your normal routine going forward. And I just think you should break it down in steps. For example, the slow walk. Everybody on the slow walk is drinking 100 ounces of water a day. All of us are, period. We're not eating dairy at all. No cereal, nothing made with dairy. If it's made with dairy, we're not eating it. Also, we're not eating eggs. I know dairy and eggs go hand in hand. I know eggs is considered a protein, but we're not eating eggs. In previous videos, I told you guys what an egg really is. So we're not eating those. We're also not eating meat. Now I left a couple of meat on the table. Because if you're gonna eat a meat, you should eat a fowl. Now some people would say seafood. A lot of us as Americans, we love meat, period. And people in the UK or Europe or whatever, you can follow what I'm saying too. It's not just American, but I speak through my lens. So if when I say American, I'm talking about you guys too. You can join in too. So again, the meat that I left was chicken, the traditional yardbird, and turkey, and then in tuna fish, and that's a good healthy fish. And a lot of people use tuna for their diets. That's why I put that back in. And then and I added crab legs and shrimp because some people just they're big seafood eaters. They gotta have something. I'm not a seafood eater. Seafood has shown to give me problems. So I don't eat a lot of seafood. In fact, the only two seafoods I eat now today would be tuna fish and crab legs. I mean, I don't eat a lot of tuna, but when I was pregnant, oh my God. And they tell you gotta be careful for the mercury content, but I was tearing tuna fish up. I don't, as I said, I don't eat a lot of tuna, and I may eat crab legs once every other month. Now, it wasn't until I was in my late 30s before I started even liking crab legs. Up until that point, I wouldn't even eat that. When I was a child, I did try to eat crabs and stuff like we would actually eat the whole crab, like a whole crab, not just the legs, bust it open, eat it like that. And it was good, but it didn't like me. So that's why I say, sometimes when you finding the health in you, pretty much you're finding out what likes you and what don't like you. And these are things we all need to know, especially us as Americans. Americans have a big problem nowadays with obesity. And they think that obesity is the main problem for like all your other ailments. But it's actually, in my opinion, it's my opinion, it's actually like the other way around. Obesity would be like a symptom of a problem. The problem is in America that we because and I'm answering this question to the person who wrote the question of why do I do this? Thank you for that. The problem is we as American, we told a lot of things, but it's almost like we're on a scavenger hunt and we don't even know it. Something like that. Because we're given a lot of information as Americans, but we don't know how to connect the dot. We don't know what it means, or we think we know what it means. And if you look at my videos, you'll see that I go into depth about certain things. We think we know what it means, but we don't connect the dots. So we think, for instance, that if you had said somebody was malnutrition, I remember I thought it, so I'm assuming that other people thought it before I started getting into this. If you was malnutrition, the picture in my head would be of a skinny, skinny, skinny person, like just real bony, like anorexic type person, or kind of like what the people look like in the Holocaust. It, my picture in my head was correct, but it wasn't all the way correct. it was partly correct, and partly knowing information is not cool. So why I say it was partly correct. Because although, yes, somebody who had that look that those people had from enduring the Holocaust, which was a terrible thing um, in the world's history, period. Um, they are malnutrition. They were not fed. So, yes, they were malnutrition. Mal meaning no in Latin, right? No or not. But y'all ever see that show called My 600-Pound Life? They're malnutritious too. If some of you watching right now say, wait a minute, man, they getting plenty of food. They're not getting the right food. I had to reprogram. This is what I mean by reprogramming. I had to stop what I was doing and reprogram or rethink what I thought malnutrition was or looked like. And once I did that, it made me understand more about. I'm sorry for messing with this. Something itching my ear. It made me understand more, you know, what I was thinking when it comes to health. We always think the symptom is the beginning problem, but we got to reprogram our mind again and go back to what we used to think when people was keeping it real. There has definitely been a shift in American culture where everybody wants stuff right now. I call it the fast food mind. Excuse me 1 second. Hold on. Yeah. My bad. My bad. Somebody was asking me something. Sorry that for that interruption for a minute. I don't even know where we were. Tell you when you get old, boy, you get forgetful. We was talking. Oh, I know we was talking about malnutrition and what things look like, and we was just talking about you know um when you're ill and you be thinking like whatever problem you have the most. Sorry, like a lot of you, oddly enough, uh, you guys asked me about weight loss, and I appreciate all those questions. Um, a lot of you I've helped, and I have been dreaming and waiting for people to come and give their testimonies. There's a lot of you, there's some of you who have actually went on a quicker journey than the slow journey that we have set up. Because I give you the slow journey for free. If you want a more intense journey, which you can do, all of you can do it, that costs because I sit down, take your information, and I personally come up with a routine for about a month to clean your system out. And you will be so happy with all the rewards or results that you get from this routine that I give you. It works. If you could guarantee something, I guarantee this. But in business, you don't supposed to guarantee, anything but like 99.9%. If it don't work, you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I know I've been asking for the ones that I did help. Do you have a story to tell? Some of you don't want it for whatever reason. Or I'm gonna say most of you because we haven't had a testimony yet. Do not want to tell a story, but I'm gonna be patient and wait. And you guys know who you are. Again, it is your story to tell. But we have to reprogram what we think and how we think things work. Because of this awkward way of thinking, this awkward way, and this is done by design. If you throw enough stuff out there, you can confuse a group of people, not alone millions. So, and I just gave you a small example of how people can be kind of confused because, again, if you think malnutrition, if you ever thought like the picture you had in your head was of somebody really, really, really thin, anorexic looking or sickly looking, and say, that is the picture of malnutrition. That's how that looks. And this, that, and the other. Because we always want to put a face to something, a look to something. And we'll be partially right. Like I said, you're partially right, but you're not 100% right. And because you're not 100%, you say things, you do things. You're insensitive to people who are going through things. You're hard on yourself and you don't even know um really why, because you think you know why, but you don't know why. You're hard on yourself for something that's not even your fault. And I'm really talking to the obese people out there who are hard on themselves for something that's really not your fault. It's really not your fault. Because if you knew better, you'll do better, right? If I knew better in my younger life, I'd have done better. Hell, if I'd have known better in the last 10 years, I'd have done better. This is stuff that I learned and had to learn. It was out of necessity. And so I just felt compassionate enough to share with everybody. Yes, my program works. I've done it many times over. It works. If I can give a guarantee, I'm going to give a 99.9% guarantee. And that's because they tell you never make 100% guarantee. Nothing in life is 100%. I'll take that. I'll take that. Some of you could have illnesses that's beyond getting corrected by food. And I'm talking about those illnesses that you're born with, like type 1 diabetes. The only thing food can do for that, which it can help, is it can control it and get it under control better than any medicine that they could give you. But people with type 1 do not, I repeat, do not stop what you're doing as directed by the doctor. You know, I do not mess with stuff that is concrete or like you had it from the beginning. Like type 1, you're born with that. That ain't nothing that you came into this earth and did to get it. You're born like that. So we don't mess with that. But can you get on our program? Yes, you can. And would you be better off for it? Yeah. Would you get rid of type 1 diabetes? Never. So Miss T is never saying that, hey, the things I got, I can totally get rid of. The things that I talk about are things that we do to ourselves, like autoimmune disorders. I use that mostly than anything because a lot of us are walking around with this problem and we don't even know it. I have yet to meet someone who will go to the doctor and they be like, oh, you got autoimmune disorder. They'll say, oh, you got some type 2 diabetes, you got insulin resistant, oh, you got hypothyroidism, you got Hashimoto's, you got Graves, you got lupus, you got MS, you got this. It's so many autoimmune disorders that sound like big ass disorders. That's what it sound like. But again, I don't even know if you can put cancer in as an autoimmune disorder. But how you fix autoimmune disorders is the same way you fix cancer. A lot of people don't believe it because they never had to experience it, either having those autoimmune disorders. So they don't really, you could try to explain autoimmune disorders to people, but they don't get it until it personally hits them. Meaning if they actually have it, or if the child that they love, or somebody in their family that they love suffer from it real bad. That's the only time you can get regular people to believe in autoimmune disorders. Outside of that, people don't want to hear it. They don't believe it. Hold on. Okay. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. And that's a shame because it's an epidemic in this country. Hell, you might as well say pandemic in this country. It's up there. So going back to fitness, I just want to be clear with that. I hope I answered the question that you guys send because I do read your emails and sometimes when there's a lot of questions, I'll pick one or two. But if I can answer all the questions for the week, then I will. But thank y'all for the questions and thank you for writing in because, you know, I aim to help us know better so we can do better. And for those of you out there who already know and be like, Miss T, we already know this shit. That's good for you. I'm catering my shows to people who might not know. And trust me, as smart as I know, and I say I know, as smart as I know I am, this went over my head too. Went right past me. Because this is not something like again, nobody I didn't go into the doctor in my earlier years and say, hey doc, do I got autoimmune disorder? I didn't even know what that was. I didn't learn about this shit until my late 30s, early 40s. I had to teach my own self, you know, what all this stuff is. Because I just didn't understand it, but the answers were always right there in front of my face. And so now that I got the answers, I'm willing to share. Because I know some of you are watching me, especially through Facebook. Nobody has told you this. Nobody has told you this. I can help anybody in this area. And I can help people lose weight. I know that's the hot ticket item, but you know, that's you know, I don't know, that's what people want the most. I can help you lose weight. I can help you lose it in a natural, fast ass way. It's gonna be faster than what you could have done exercising. I'll give you a hint. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. Like just to, you know, let's just say you only want to do it for about a week. For those of you out there, because this is the emails that I get, I have to respond to the stuff that I get. Most of y'all write me about losing weight, especially the ladies. You want to lose 20 pounds in a week? Is that considered fast? Is that considered good? Holla at me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. We'll get it off. I promise you. We'll get it off. We can't get it off if you don't do what you're supposed to do, but we'll get it off. And what I ask you to do is not a lot. But 1 week out your life, you want to lose that or more, holla at your girl. I know people don't believe it, but it's a fact. I have people do this all the time. They don't believe me, but it's a fact. And y'all, and like I said, a lot of y'all already know. A lot of y'all already know how to do this and all that. But y'all just ain't either connecting the dots real good. Like again, don't be ashamed of that. 'Cause it went over my head for years, decades. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get back to fitness. So they tell you that you should do 3 to 4 days a week of some kind of physical fitness training. People who are trying to lose weight, they like, huh? I would love to do 3 or 4 days a week. And each day that you work out, each one of those 3 or 4 days, they recommend 45 minutes, no more, no less. That's all you need. In fact, if you want to start burning up calories, let's say you was doing like a treadmill or something, 21 minutes on the tread, you'll burn, you'll have a gain. And remember, Gains, big or small, they all to the good. Wise man taught me that a gain is a gain. You know you are. Shout out to you, Shannon. A gain is a gain. And I live by that now. A gain is a gain. So 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes each time. Don't seem like a winning combination. I know a lot of people out there like, I've done that. And I say to myself, well, why would they say that? Like, then you start thinking, well, what's wrong with me? I can do 3 or 4 days a week easy. 45 minutes a session, easy. I've done that. But the only time stuff work for me is when I'm doing 2 hours every day. So why do they even say that dumb shit? But they throw that out there in the atmosphere of information. And we take it in and we be like, okay, that's what they said. So it's got to be true. So the question is that true or not? The answer is yes, that is true. It is true. But it's one of those things. If you don't know how the body's supposed to work and how everything's supposed to work, it ain't going to work. So there's a lot of people who try that 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes a day, and it never works for them. Then you got people who have a high, what we call a high metabolism, that give advice or say things on how to stay in shape or get in shape, and they some of them may know. I ain't gonna say it's absolute, but most of them don't know because they've never had an issue with weight, so they don't know. They don't know. They know what the medical stuff say. They not really busting a grape to get the body they got. It's naturally happening for them. If they can eat any and everything they want and never really gain weight, then what is it to lift a few dumbbells or whatever and bulk up or strengthen up? This what I mean by information will be thrown at you, but they won't tell you the caveat of 3 or 4 days, 45 minutes a session. They won't tell you that only works. Y'all ready for this? 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes a session only works if your body is cleaned and running on an optimal level. See how they don't put that together. You never hear them talk about recommendations and then say whether it'll work or not. Only if they just say it works. But people who have tried that be like, no, it doesn't work. But people, I'm telling you, the part that was missing is if only your body is working at an optimum level. If it's not working at an optimum level, then 3 to 4 days a week, 45 minutes a session ain't gonna do shit for you. D-Ray is in the building. What's popping, King? 3 to 4 days a week, 45-minute session won't do a thing for you if your body is not working at optimum level. But the question was, is that a true fact? It's a true fact with the if. It's not true if your body is not working at an optimum level. No, 3 to 4 days a week ain't enough when you're talking exercise. In case anybody wondering, this is a beet juice that I made myself. You could do that stuff in the privacy of your own home. Don't cost a lot. Beets are not expensive items. We had a show where we was talking about how much food costs. Beets are so good juice. Now, eating a beet regular, hell to the no, I can't eat it. But I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep it pushing. So when we talk about fitness, that is a good thing. If you're doing that and it's not yielding you any results, that's why. when we talk about what you need to do to get your body to work at optimum level, go back and watch some of the videos. But I will always repeat because I just stay in that one little area. I just stay in that little zone. So another thing when we talk about fitness, little things you can do. Like you could park, if you go to Walmart, you know how you could park up front or you could park way to the back. Most Walmarts are pretty lit. If you go at a decent time, park your car like that. When you're going to work, just park further in the back of the parking lot. Lidded areas, ladies. We know that. And gentlemen, if you want to, like, you want to make sure your car is secure. But definitely lidded areas. Don't park in nowhere where there ain't no lights. If it ain't no lights, go on and park up front. But that little extra walk matters. Every little thing you do during the day will matter. Um, you know how people take smoke breaks for 10 minutes at work? Seem like every hour or at least every other hour. Well, if you don't smoke or if you smoke, take one of your breaks and just walk around the building. If you work in a big building, walk around that. If you work in your own office, walk in place, jog in place, move, do something. Every little bit counts. There was a guy once who decided to go on. He was a big body guy, like bouncer dude, and I ran up on his story by accident. He wanted to get in shape, but he knew just because he was big and muscular, you know how they let all real tight, they could barely, move. What he did, he decided they had built a Walmart grocery store in his neighborhood, and a lot of people got that. We got one now too, and I love it. It's just around the corner. Everything I need, like for the most part, I'm shopping over there. I could walk to it real easy. So what he decided to do is to change what he ate and how often he ate. But every time he needed to eat, he will walk to that grocery store and get his meal that he's going to prepare and then come home. Now, I don't know how that is in the long run when it comes to taxes on your food. Is it better to buy in bulk or not? Maybe it's he bought everything else in bulk, but just needed to go get something he could pick up every day that's not that expensive. It was the walk of it all. So he would do that. He would walk and go get his little meal, and walk back home for breakfast, fix that. And then when lunchtime came, he'll walk. I don't know what other job he had where he could do this, but he ate 3 times a day and he peeled all that weight off. And he was even more cut because he was already into strength training and bodybuilding type stuff. He was already a big dude. So he just looked even better, but he was leaner. So you don't want to be so big, and if we talk about boxing, Anthony Joshua and stuff, like real thick. He looks like he leaned out. People with those compact muscles and all that, you know, it it depends on how big you are and how much that resistance of carrying that stuff around, because you can be hurting bones and other things in your body by carrying a lot of weight on you and all that stuff. So you have to be cognizant of that. But that was a way, talking about the guy who walked to the grocery store just to get his little meal. He might have changed how he ate. Like I forgot the foods he said he ate, but he might have went there to buy apples on one day, oranges on another, bananas on another, salad mix or whatever. But he did that. He walked for 3 meals, and I think the walk altogether, going and coming, was like a mile and some change. So that was just 3 miles. Walking is the best exercise. If you think about it, it's the best exercise because when you stop walking, you still burn calories. When you're running and you stop running, you kind of stop burning calories right then and there. I mean, it's a slow letdown. But when you walking, you still burn calories for another 36 hours. So if you have a routine set up where you walk every morning at 7 a.m., by the time that next morning come at 7 a.m., you are still burning calories from the walk you did the day before. So now throw on top of this walk that you're doing now. So that's a winning strategy right there. Walking is the best. Another great exercise is dancing. It's just right up there with walking. Um, you don't even be knowing it, young folks. I know now because I can reflect back. I was in shape when I was younger, early 20s and all that, because I was dancing. I was going to the club all the time. Like, you might as well say my whole 20s decade, I spent in somebody club partying all the time. And that shit is a lot of energy. Matter of fact, if you dance for an hour, you can burn close to 900 or 1,000 calories an hour just dancing. And I ain't talking about like real, like heavy, heavy, hardcore dancing, but I ain't talking about slow dancing either, just regular dancing to the older folks, like 30 and up. Cause I don't know if young people are welcome, but why don't y'all find one of those dance studios in your local areas? They out there where you gonna learn how to do dancing formally, like cha-cha, the waltz, or whatever. These are things that don't get your heart rate up real too bad. Like, and I'm talking about especially for obese people. This is something you could do, and it will be fun, and you're gonna notice how it peels weight off you. Go to a dance studio like twice a week, 3 times a week. That's all you need. That's all you need. Twice a week is good. And let them teach you how to dance, and you'll be in it. I'm telling you. Another good exercise is boxing routines. Boxing routines to me is right up there too with walking and dancing. Now I know if you play football, you got a routine. If you play basketball, you got a routine, soccer, so forth and so on. Out of all of that shit, boxing. Boxing would do the impossible. Some people have like thicker legs, talking to the ladies, and a small waist, small top, torso, but like thick ass legs, like ginormous legs that almost look like it don't match. And no matter what exercise they do, they can't get that shit off. Boxing routines will. Now, dancing and walking will make you drop weight even and everywhere, but boxing routines will knock them fucking thighs out. Trust me on that. And it's you don't need but a simple boxing routine. I can tell you that right now. You can hit the heavy bag, and you have to look just YouTube some boxing routines in heavy bag, speed bag, shadow boxing, pad work, and jump rope, and road work. You could do a mile and some change, maybe a mile and a half. Or if you just starting to do a mile, run a mile, then come in and jump rope 8 minutes. And if 8 minutes, whenever the shit get easy, you have to add intensity to it. So like we jump rope 8 minutes and it get easy, it's not really giving you a challenge. Go up to 10 or 12 minutes, add minutes. But if you're doing a mile, like you're running a mile or jogging a mile, and that's not, challenging you that much, either pick up the speed or go a mile and a half. You see what I'm saying? Whenever shit get easy, you just increase the intensity or the time in which you're doing this routine or whatever. But I just basically gave you a small, not that big of a deal boxing routine. You can do that. If you want to know how to hit the punch bag, you can YouTube that. You want to know how to properly throw a punch, you can do that too. If you learn how to, one thing I do is when I'm training boxers, and I a lot of times I work with kids, we will have them stand in a stance, and I would be like, come forward, go back, go side, like left, right. Not even having them throw a punch, but they better be in the right stance and standing like they supposed to. Hold tight, somebody actually calling. Okay. What's up, D Ray? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Happy New Year to you too, King. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So have you been watching a while? Like you picked up on some of the stuff we doing? Are you doing like the slow walk journey that we do? I talk about it in my boxing show every day too. Are you? So do we, my mom said you stroll. Some people walk fast. I just stroll. So I love strolling. But when I say slow walk, because my show is this segment at least is all about finding the health in you. And I reach back and I'm sharing this information because like many of us in America, we got a lot of information, but we have never connected the dot. And sometimes you'll go through life with illnesses. Like you look at me and you don't see no illness. A lot of people don't, but I have a lot of medical illness that I cannot recorrect because the damage is done. But had I known that I had these issues earlier in life, I could have made corrections back then and I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy where I am today. But I could have dealt without the cancer. I could have dealt without a lot of stuff. And I'm missing organs that I can't never get back. So um I decided to create this show to answer a lot of questions. I have a lot of people look at me on Facebook. Shout outs to all my Facebookers. Y'all can call in just like he did. The number is running down the bottom of the stream, or you can come into the chat, or you could beam in. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, like just passing information. Somebody out there who probably didn't know, just like me. Well, they will say, it depends on what you can do, really. But you for the average woman, she's gonna take about 3,500 steps, like actual steps. And those they got those little meters as low as $4 to fit watches that count people's steps. The average man will walk about 4,500 steps in a day. These are people that I'm saying get up, go to work, drop their kids off at school, pick their kids up, take them to karate lessons, go get some groceries. I ain't talking about lazy people that just sitting around. I'm talking about people that seem like they get up and be active. That's the approximate number of steps. If you want to start seeing some weight loss, you want to do 10,000 steps. That's man and woman. I mean, it's not as hard as you think. Like if you play basketball, you run a game of basketball, just one game, and play half court, and then look at your Fitbit watch. You probably had 6,000 steps. Just that right there. That's a good exercise too. A lot of people did that in the military. That's how the guys stayed in shape because they ran game after game after game. They would do that 3 times a week, and they wasn't connecting that dot. Like, hey, I'm actually taking like 30,000 steps when I'm doing this, dude. If you was taking 30,000 steps 2 or 3 times a week, you will be peeling off weight, or every day. You will peel off weight. But that's one way to do it. Walking is always the best exercising because 36 hours later, you are still burning calories. That's why it's the best exercise and the easiest. Right. Whereas running is great exercise. Like when I talk about walking to the people I work with, they'll be like, "Well, running's supposed to be better." I said, "Why?" Because that's how we was trained to think. Running, once you stop running, no more calories really are burned. I mean, it's gonna taper off, but it's not gonna burn for 36 hours. Mhm. As you get older, you will have aches and pains. One thing I talk about too on the show is the fact that of a lot of us Americans, especially this go for people in the Western Hemisphere, period, UK over here, up and down, we don't have the best diet. So a lot of us are walking around with this autoimmune disorders. And you have to like do your research to see if you fall in that category. 9 times out of 10, everybody dealing with some kind of autoimmune disorder. It's just on the level that it is for you is what makes it bad or good, or not so much that you focus on. So for me, it was severe. Maybe for you, yours is less severe, so you're not gonna think about it. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. 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 Right. Mhm. People will be surprised because, like, I talk about cancer. I've had cancer, so a lot of stuff that I talk about, I've either experienced it or read up on it, or actually I took anatomy classes. I was trying to get into ultrasound school, which is hard, but you got to take a lot of medical classes before you get in. So I've taken these, and I can tell you, just dealing with my illnesses, as I told y'all, mine is on a severe level. I had no choice but to learn this stuff. And I can tell you, cancer can be cured with just food. I say that nobody will believe me unless they tried it or unless they learned what cancer is. Well, I have a email. You gonna have to email me boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. Depending on what you're asking me to do, there is a charge because I do this for a lot of people and it takes time to sit down and come up with a good routine per person. But I always tell people I approach it differently than what we think how things need to be approached. Okay. And that's because if I just try to work on a symptom, let's say something as simple as you say, I want to lose 20 pounds. If I just go to that and try to work on it, we could be here all day with that. We could be here all day. Or should I fix why you have the extra 20 pounds? See, people call people fat. They make jokes. They be like, oh, they make judgments about people like you're not taking care of yourself. You're lazy or whatever because you're obese. No, obesity comes from an actual problem you have. You'll probably never hear people say that. But when you start learning about that what makes your body healthy, and the only way you can learn that is to feed it what it wants, but you have to pay attention to detail to know what it wants. I take you on a journey where you can find those answers, and when you fix the main problem which caused you obesity or caused you blood problems or caused you whatever. When you fix the main problem, you fix the obese. I don't even have to ever address obesity in a traditional way, like exercise and all that. I don't have to because I'm gonna fix the main problem. And when I fix that, your obesity going that's gonna be a side effect. Just like that main problem aided you in becoming obese. When you fix the main problem, you won't be obese no more. You get what I'm saying? Most of the time. Mhm. Exactamundo. Yes, exactly. And a lot of people be skeptical because they'll look at me. I'm a person who has no thyroid gland. Have none. And I'm sure you familiar with what the thyroid do. I don't even have one. And to the areas that, are responsible for metabolism going down in your body, I'm missing a total of 4 organs. I don't even have these things. But somehow I had to figure out how can I live my life as a normal woman out here and controlling my body and the weight and all this stuff. I had to figure this stuff out because just being a beast in the gym won't cut it. And trust me, I could be a beast in that gym. But then I got my heart got damaged. I can't repair that. So I'm limited now on a lot of things I can do. So when I'm doing my program, it's not about fitness. That's something if you want to incorporate that, you can. And I get a lot of clients that want to lose weight. And that's all they want to lose weight. But then again, I take them how I approach it. Cause we got to find out why you got the weight on you. And then once I fix that, we talking. I wish they would say their testimonies, but we talking like girls could come in and be like, I want to lose. Somebody could say 50 pounds, and they're thinking it's gonna take them 6 months, and they ask me how long it's gonna take. I said maybe 6 weeks, maybe less. I can drop 20 pounds off you in a week or more, and they don't believe me. And I'm like, okay. And then they might think about it and they come back and they try it. It's happened on this show. And they follow the program and it works. You name an issue out there that people can have medically. And I've had people with dialysis. I have people with alopecia. I've had people with blood issues, anemia, all kinds of stuff. Male issues, women issues. I don't need to go in depth with that. And within a week and a half, they be like, "Girl." I'm like, "Yeah." Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, don't be shy. A lot of people be shy, and a lot of people have gone through hell, especially I call them my beast, clients because, it's a lot goes on with living that type of life. Um, and it's kind of debilitating. Then it becomes like a security blanket. It's like you never living your best life because you don't know what you could have been or what you would have been, but this this thing was in the way, and so that's why I say like we're gonna try to get you healthy all the way. And we're gonna find out it come in 3 phases. The journey that I do specifically for individuals comes in 3 phases. And the first phase is we clean you out. Second phase, we slowly reintroduce things one by one, the things you gotta have. Like this one lady, she had to have ketchup in her life. But for that first month, no ketchup. That second month, we slowly introduced and we found out what? ketchup don't like her. Now, either she got some choices to make. She don't gotta listen to a commercial. She ain't gotta try to take a million tests that cost God knows what from her allergist or her doctor trying to figure out if ketchup was bad for her. She don't gotta do that. All she gotta do now is recognize the fact that when we took it out of your diet, you got better. When we brought it back, you got worse. And so you have a choice. Don't eat ketchup no more or make it yourself. Mhm. Right. And that's what it does. Like some things hurt you and some things don't. A lot of Americans out there can eat ketchup all day long. Does nothing. It don't seem like it does something to you. But I'll tell you like this, if you have any kind of illness or disorder that makes you socially inadequate, you need to holler at your girl because I know exactly what that is. I know why you probably have it, and I know exactly how to put a whole meal together for you. But like you call me, my number is always at the bottom while I'm doing the show. That number is for while I'm doing the show. And boxing fans talk at gmail.com. You can email me to whatever specific you want me to help you address. As always, your information is private. Okay. If y'all been looking at me, I have never spoke on nobody's name or whatever because their testimony is their testimony, you know, and they have to be willing to tell their testimony. I'm on here doing the journey. I will forever, ever be in and out this journey um, because the damage was already done to me. So, but I don't want you guys to have that. And I don't want you to think like, oh, I just got to live with this all the rest of my life because you don't. Mhm. Exactly. But I appreciate your call. We're gonna be talking about some other things in the show. Sometimes the show be like a couple of hours. I try to be mindful. This football day. This football day. I try to be mindful. I know I don't watch it, but I ain't a hater. You know what show I do like? I actually like Inside the NFL. I can watch that. That's about as much of a dose of football I can take because I can't watch no games. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mhm. Right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling in, and I appreciate you. Okay. Bye. Thank you once again, D Ray, for the call in. Great conversation. And that's and I employ all of you guys to call in at 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449. If you have any question. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. But I would definitely look that up, and by the next show, I will have that answer. I probably say the answer in my boxing week shows, but definitely by the next Sunday, I will have that answer. Henry Singleton is in the building. Niall SNC that site. Um, so that was we were talking about things how we don't connect the dots and this, that, and the other. We were also talking about walking and dancing, like the best fitness stuff. And I also wanted to make clear from a question that I got in the email. Am I like against? I guess they were wondering, am I against fitness? And I'm not. I'm for fitness. But I was telling you guys that 3 to 4 days a week, 45-minute sessions is recommended medically, is recommended that that's how much fitness you should do a week to be in perfect shape or be in good shape. But that only works if your body is healthy and running at an optimal level based on what you put in it. See, that part of the conversation, they don't get said. And so you go out there as an average American and eating whatever this Western diet, and you go out there and you say, but I'm in the gym 3 or 4 times a week, ain't nothing happening. It's nothing going to happen if everything ain't working on an optimum level. Get this out of your head. I have rarely met an overeater to the point that you can balloon up to 600 pounds. I've rarely met that person, or 3 or 4. Most people who have weight issues, there is another problem, but you don't know how to ask that your doctor to check for this, check for that. They check for the basic stuff. If you go back and watch some of my program before when I talked about the thyroid gland, they will check your thyroid gland, but they don't check your reverse T3 and your and your T3 and see how are they working properly, because you can have a proper working thyroid gland all day long, but if those two things down there is not working properly, you don't have no metabolism. And they're not naturally gonna check that test unless you ask for it. And for some of you that might be cost too much. You know what I'm saying? It might cost too much. A lot of people are obese, and I have to speak on obese because, like I said, this is one of these emails that I get is mostly about obesity or people trying to lose weight. A lot. I just want to let everybody out there who's obese know it ain't your fault. And I have to say it like that. For years, you yourself believe it was your fault. You let other people tell you it's your fault, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're working with lack of information. So therefore, how can you make a cognitive decision with lack of information? It's not your fault. It ain't as simple as counting calories. Because that was another question. Is calorie counting a real thing? It is to a certain point. Okay. Let me tell you this. How do you I'm sorry, my nose itching. I'm over here by my window as usual. So people say, is calorie counting a real thing? Yes and no. Here's another reason why I say they gave you some information, but they didn't connect no dots. Calorie counting is a real thing. Going on diets, though, where you counting your calories, haven't proved to be a most successful thing. For some people, it might have worked. Most people, not. Why is that? America is a very unique country. We do a lot of shit that other countries don't do. Like we put labels on our food, and we used to that. Go to a country where they don't do it. You'll be like, I'm not eating that shit. Why? Because you grew up American and you just had that feeling. But if you grew up in that country, it wouldn't be a big deal. But you'd be like, I know, I don't care. I'm not telling you don't stay who you are. If you're American, be American everywhere you go. I would go to countries and I pick up food and they didn't have labels on it. Unless I knew for real, what I was eating, I wouldn't eat that shit. I don't give a damn what it is. The only thing I ate is when I thought I knew the ingredients. So, for instance, I'm in Shanghai, China. We there for a week. I get me a room at the hotel. First and foremost, shout out to China and the people who are decent and nice. My experience was different. They didn't, in my experience, because I've been to Hong Kong too. I've been to other parts of China and Shanghai. That's the one I stayed the longest. They don't like black people. I'm just saying, I'm just telling the truth. The only place that you can get along with Chinese people in China is, for the most part, the black market. Because I went to the black market in China. It's just like street vendors all over the place, and everybody is some kin to or love money. For us, we call it green, whatever color their money is. Money is money. Money is the universal religion in the world. So when it came to the money, oh, they came and got me once I got at the front. The lady came and got me, grabbed me by my hand. You come with me. I know what you like. She pulled me in the back. She had her whole little setup. She had all kinds of purses. Some of them knockoff, some of them real. You could buy at the time, like, I ain't going back to China, but when I was there, I used to watch that show called 24. And right down the street, I bought and this was like in the summer, early summer, like May, June. I bought 24, which wasn't coming out till December 8th that year, the next season. A whole fucking season, y'all. Wasn't even coming out to then. And like I'm saying, they was gonna show the new episode weekly, but I was able to buy that whole season, the whole new season in the summer. How the fuck they get that? I don't know. And I ain't care because I was a 24 watching addict and I had to have it. So Chinese people care about their money. That's as I say globally, money is the ultimate religion. Everybody care about money. So, I get over there to China. Why did I bring this story up? Is because I couldn't trust what they were serving. It was nothing over there that I could eat in good conscience. Now, I do know that a lot of places overseas have like McDonald's or whatever and all that. McDonald's have it by law, no matter where you open a McDonald's in the world, some of their food is the same no matter where it's served. So if you go get whatever they make cheeseburgers out of here in the States, if you go over to China, Russia, whoever, they use the same ingredients as they do in the States. Now, some of their other food might be using different ingredients, like Germany. When you get to the quarter pounder size beef or whatever, it necessarily might not be beef. But anything like the Big Mac, the cheeseburgers, they using the same hamburger meat that we use here. So that was a safe bet to go to McDonald's. Outside of that, but you don't always get the opportunity to hit up a McDonald's because when you pull in on a Navy ship, you don't know where everything is. You just walking around, you're on liberty, right? So I'm in this hotel and I come down for breakfast and I was like, I see them freshly squeezing the orange juice. Yeah, run me some of that shit. And I wound up eating a plate of fruit and bread. Because bread is bread, no matter where you go. And fruit, you already know the ingredient. You pick up an apple, what's in it? Apple. Fruit is fruit. You know, I didn't think that their food was toxic or they had something, that I need to be worried about as far as the food to come out the soil. But I'm not taking no chance because, another thing, I didn't see a lot of dogs or cats running around neither. And people say, "Oh, Miss T, that's kind of cruel to say." It's not. They warned us before we get off the ship. Don't, hey, these people do eat this shit, and you just better be careful what you eat. So for me, nah, I'm not eating that. Why we talking about food like this? Because somebody asked me, "Is calorie counting real?" It is, but it's not. So we got labels as Americans. A lot of overseas don't. But here's the problem. I explained the other day why people put preservatives. When you put preservatives in food, the point is to make it have a shelf life so that, nothing spoiled before they can barely get on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these people are trolls. So I don't know how to stop them from coming in, but I don't know. I just try not to answer them. I don't know why would they want to troll me. But so yeah. So the truck gonna make the journey and it's gonna take the produce or the food for the grocery store to whatever grocery store. We got millions of them around here in the States. So, if food, you know, spoiled before the truck could even get it to its destination, what would be the point of anybody having grocery stores. We all we have to go back to learn how to grow our own shit, right? That's what we would need to do. So when you pick up an apple, as I said before, let's say this is an apple. You ask yourself, what's in an apple? Apple. It's one ingredient food. Let's say this is a banana. What's in a banana? Banana. What's in spinach? Spinach. What's in kale? Kale. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? So you have your produce section, and I don't know how they're able to get those and have a little shelf life, but they're able to do it. We know that food like that will perish, and that's the food you want to eat. But you go on the aisle and you get you a box of cereal, any kind. What's in there? It'll have a whole list: riboflavin, sugar, carbohydrates, sodium. You know, they have a list of shit that's in it. Then they have and those like the kind of like sodium. Then they have like 10% or carbohydrates 28%. You know, stuff like that, so you can count. This is how people diet. They be like, okay, I'm gonna count these calories because they have that on the label. Then they got a more descriptive part of the label where they say, you know, it's riboflavin in it, fructose, corn syrup, um, red number dye, whatever, this, that, and that. They just go down the whole list of things that enrich flour, all this crap. Well, in that breakdown is not the same as the breakdown that I said when you had carbohydrates 28, sodium 10%, blah 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 blah. Well, you know, sodium used to be like 580 and all that crap. And the other one is just words like telling actual stuff that's in it. And here lies the problem. The descriptive stuff is probably what you want to pay attention to more than the one that says carbohydrate 28%, 28 grams or whatever. Why? Because if you read enriched flour, you will have to have a breakout of what's in enriched flour. Damn near everything that they say when they say number 10 dye, like whatever, you know, those dyes they put in food, red number, whatever. I don't know the number of the dyes, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You would have to take each one of those ingredients and create a label of what exactly is in it. So, do calorie work? No, because that descriptive part of the label does not tell you how many calories of that shit is. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you how many calories that fructose corn syrup have in it. It don't even tell you that your body cannot digest that properly and you shouldn't eat it, period. Your body cannot use nothing out of fructose corn syrup. How are you going to diet effectively? Oh, I'm going to keep the carbohydrates low and I'm going to keep the sugars low. And you're just going by that side of the label. But when you get to the descriptive part, you don't even know how many sucrose, corn syrup, fructose, and all that shit is in there. So it don't matter if you cut all of this part of the labeling out. You didn't cut it here. You didn't cut it here because you didn't know. So to all you obese people, you're having a reaction to this descriptive part of the label that you don't know. You can't quantify it. You can't qualify it. So how you gonna cut back on carbohydrates when there's carbs all in this descriptive part? And rich flour has a lot of carbs in it that you cannot digest. How are you gonna count calories when you can't count that? And then we wonder why diets ain't working. We wonder why a question could come in and say, do calorie counting work? It does, but it don't. Because you're not giving all the information to calorie count. See what I'm saying? I'm over here hungry as hell and I'm eating too right now. We're drinking that. You said, hide the comments. I heard it's a virus. How do you block this bitch? Let me see. Block this user. Okay. I don't know why they coming here. Like, what made them come over here? I don't know. Thanks for the info. But I'm knocking everybody comment. I'm knocked yours out. No, I didn't mean to block you, D-Ray. How do I unblock? Oh shit. Oh damn. Hold up. I'm sorry. I went away. I was trying to block them, but I'm blocking others. So I'll just have to read up on it. But yeah, calorie counting can work if you have all the information. So if you know, if somebody gives you a recommendation and it says to limit the amount of calories you take, like carbohydrates by 100, like just take only in 100, you will never get that accurate number by looking at the label, because it could say carbohydrates 56. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll eat this. It's only 56. And you're counting the carbohydrates. But when you get to the descriptive thing, you know how many carbohydrates over there that's not labeled, that's not told to you? It's going to be like 800 or 1,000. So you think you're counting calories and limiting them, but this descriptive list, the enriched flour, the red number dye, food coloring, the fructose, the sucrose, the lactase, with all that crap, that shit adds up to 1,000. But you feel like you're starving because you counted calories here, and if the shit, like stuff in the can ain't good for you, one ingredient type food. Like I said, what's this? Apple? What's in the apple? Apple. That's what you want to do. Take one ingredient type foods, mix it up, and make you a meal. But you cannot count those calories. When you talking about the food that we supposed to eat, you don't have to count calories. So let me look. I actually drew some stuff, and I got some little videos I wanted to show you. I ain't gonna be online. Okay, look. Oh no, that's the pancreas. I'm sorry. So this is let me go back to this. So this is roughly a video of let me take this down. This is just not a video, but a picture of, like, if you imagine that this part right, this bottom part of where you got the arrow at the top, and this part that don't have an arrow, imagine that's the baseline, which is 0. And every time you eat food, there's a sugar spike. There's sugar spike going on in your body, and your pancreas responds to it. As I told you before, I did a video on how the pancreas works. So you eat food, your body breaks it down as sugar, and every 3 sugar molecule has to be accompanied with 1 sugar molecule from your pancreas. And those 4 total sugar molecules is going to try to intercede or interject themselves into a cell. When you hear cell, you think of blood cells, red blood cells, so that they can metabolize and carry all that good stuff to all the organs to get them nice and healthy and working at their optimum level. These cells will not take nothing fugazi. You can run whatever scam you want to run, but your cell knows what's real and what's not. And so they won't take nothing fugazi. But every time there's 3 molecules of sugar in your body, it's going to produce an insulin molecule of sugar. This is how type 2 diabetes work, y'all. You keep introducing sugar, it keeps your pancreas keep making sugar. And it only does that when your food has to be broken down. Your food can only be broken down when you eat it in your stomach. You activate your stomach, which activates the pancreas, which tries to find an accompanying with somebody to accompany the molecules of sugars that you ate. Going back to that calorie thing that I was talking about, um, you can't count calories if it's not there to be counted. Like, how do you do it? Like, like I don't know. I was hoping I had some up here. I don't. But just imagine this water. This thing is going to tell me what this water is telling me information about this water. But this is 100% natural spring water. There's not much to tell about it. But if it wanted to tell me something, it'll have writing, like how you see how that writing where it say ingredients. It'll say, well, this doesn't say it, but on your cans or whatever this label in America, it's gonna say ingredients, and then it's gonna have the label that has sodium 10% or however much. It'll say 580. That's the number for sodium. That's a lot of sodium, i.e., salt. And then you got your sugars, and then you got your whatever, and they can give it to you in percentages or just an actual number of carbohydrates or whatever. Again, calories work when you can count the accurate amount of calories, and you cannot do that with American food. I don't care who you are and where you are in America. You cannot count calories with American food. You can, however, count an apple, one ingredient type foods. You can do that. So we're not talking about produce. We're talking about everything else. And 9 times out of 10, it's them ingredients is what's fucking you up. Not necessarily what they try to tell you over here with the sodium and the carbohydrate, sugar, and all that other stuff. So a lot of you out there obese because of that one thing right there. The ingredients have not been totally broken down to you, and you don't know if your body likes it or not. But I tell you this, if it's fake, I can tell you your body don't like it. Now, what it do to you and what it do to me is two different things. That's just how it be, y'all. That is just how it is. And we can feel how we want to feel, but that's the reason. So now that y'all know this, stop the narrative that you push about people with weight on them. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not true. I've lived around the world. I've been around the world. I've met many people. I had a thyroid condition where I had cancer. Had mine completely removed. And I'm here to tell you, I haven't met one person yet that overeats so much. I've met big eaters, but I haven't met an overeater so much where they just 600 pounds, 500 pounds, 300 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever. They just severely overweight or obese. I haven't met one yet. I met a lot of people that got other medical issues, and obesity is a symptom. That's what I've met. This is some of my experience. So we got to start looking at obesity different. For all of y'all that's looking out there, anybody want more specific help in that? Boxing Fans Talk TV is the channel. We here every Sunday to talk about things, but you can email me specifically at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com, and I can write you up a little journey that you can go on. It's gonna be a total of 3 months out your life. The hard part is probably about just a month. It's just a month. And you can go on this journey. I will write a routine or a actual food routine for you. And I guarantee, I hate to say guarantee, but 99.9% positive that it's going to help you. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how small you are or whatever it is you're looking for. If you could be a small person and got other issues and that I possibly can address. If I can't, I'm not arrogant and will say, "Oh, I can fix everything," because I can't. I'm not on here for y'all who got type 1 diabetes. I can't change that about you. That's the God's honest truth. Some of y'all got afflictions or disorders or diseases that nobody can do nothing about. But why did this program help? Because it can control it or diminish the severity of whatever it is you have. But there's things that people got, it cannot be corrected. Like my situation. I cannot make my heart better. I just can't. The damage was done. So it's kind of like a domino. So we talked about why the calorie counting hasn't been working real successfully for a lot of Americans, and that's because you can't even count all the calories because it's not told to you. How you gonna count something that you don't know? So how you gonna eliminate something or take in a fewer calories when that's not even that information is not provided to you? You can call the company, you can look online, you can look at the actual label on the product. You're not gonna ever know. You got to understand how the body breaks down nutrients. Your body runs off sugar, especially parts of your body like the brain. It breaks down nutrients. You want vitamins and minerals. That's what nutrients are. Where you hear like vitamin D, that's actually a hormone. We are nothing but walking hormones. So vitamin D, E, all that stuff is mostly hormones. And hormones work with your glandular system, which is a part of your endocrine system. So endocrine, thyroid, is one of the major organs in your endocrine system. So and that's become an epidemic. When I had it, it was so rare. I was 24 with thyroid cancer, and that was rare. Most women, in their 40s and up, that's when they had that issue. I was 24. Now 15-year-olds have it. It's a problem. And it got a lot to do with how we eat and what we eat. You got to understand spikes of insulin. So let me bring that picture up that I drew. Oh no, I didn't draw this. I had drew you one, but I didn't. Okay. This is your torso, right? Y'all see this? This is the weirdest looking. It's so weird looking. It looked like a wee wee. I mean, no bull crap, because this is actually your pancreas. Ain't that the weirdest? Look like a corn husk or wee wee or whatever. And you see what's near it. You got your liver up here. Just so y'all know, if y'all never knew how all of this was set up, you got your liver, which is a filtering system, your gallbladder, which is a filtering system. You got your colon, believe it or not, kind of filters. You got your spleen over this side, which is a filtering system. And right there in the middle that look like a corn husk thing is your pancreas. And you got your bile ducts, and those are the where the broken down food on its way to the colon and all that crap. Pancreatic ducts. Ducts are just like ducts, like tubings or whatever, with stuff either traveling through or whatever. You got the whole body of the pancreas, and you got the tail on this end. I don't know if y'all see my cursor, but you can read these little whatevers. So as you see, the stomach right here, and when I be telling you, the food comes down into the stomach. The stomach is activated. All kinds of hormones are released. Insulin is a hormone. It's a sugar molecule. The food gets broken down into something the body can use. The body can only use the sugars. If it's fugazi sugar, it gets pushed around the body as fat, meaning fructose, lactase, sucrose, all that bullshit. The only good cose or ose is glucose. That's the only good one. And where do you find that in? Natural food. What's natural food, Miss T? Food to come out the ground, off the trees. That's natural food. One ingredient type foods. You'll find glucose all in it, and the body prefers that. That's what it wants. It doesn't want the fructose, the lactase, it doesn't want the sucrose. It doesn't want all those things that's found in those ingredients that are not labeled on food products in America. It doesn't want all that. So once the stomach is activated, the pancreas will be activated. And the pancreas got to know how many sugar molecules came out of that food that just was eaten. And for every 3 of them, one insulin molecule get released, right? But food that is not something that the body can use, what does it do? It also turns to sugar. Isn't that crazy? I just said, food that come down get broken down into sugars or things that the body can use, and the pancreas react to that. Well, the pancreas also react to the fugazi shit. It do, and that's how you keep getting an abundance of insulin. You can become resistant. You can become insulin resistant because you're creating too much insulin, because that sugar molecule coming from the pancreas will never meet up with the sucrose and the fructose. It'll never meet up with it. It registered that it is a sugar molecule, and it might go, but then when it comes to getting in the bloodstream and the cells, the bouncer at the door is like, nah, because that ain't a real sugar. And then the pancreas insulin molecule is floating around in your body doing what? Nothing. Because it has nobody to accompany them with to the cells. And all these, the liver, the spleen, the gallbladder, all of them are needed. They're gonna break down the food even more. But the liver, especially, is the place where the thyroid, which is coming from your neck up here, coming down, got to make it to the liver and transform itself from one state to another, from T4 to T3. If that don't go down, you're not burning no fat. You're not burning none. People think it's the exercise that gets you more results than anything. It's not. It's the food you eat and the metabolism you make in your body. Them two ain't working. You can exercise till the cow come home. You can exercise 8 hours a day. Nothing gonna happen if you're not, able to have your T4 cells turn into metabolism cells, which is T3s. So that's just a quick run over. I hope I answered the person question about the calories. I probably went in a little depth, and so I'm trying to hurry up because we're going into 2 hours. So let me get moving on. So you got wellness. Wellness is about overall health. That's all wellness is. It's how and what you eat. How you eat it. Do you need to fry shit? No, we don't. Especially as black folks, we know we shouldn't be out there frying nothing. So that's what I mean by how and what you eat. The best way to eat food is in its natural state, raw. Now, I don't do seafood. I know some people do. My kids eat sushi. Yep. I'll never eat that shit. I already told y'all we're not carnivores, we're herbivores. So if you're eating raw meat, I'm not telling you to do that. Because you don't need to be eating meat anyway. If it has eyeballs, blink, 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 or a spine, as you see, I can stand up, I can move, or fillings, you don't eat it. Miss T, how you know these animals have feelings? Because when their babies are born, they play. Takes feelings to play. They're scared. They latch on to their mothers. That shit don't happen without feelings. We know that some animals can be stoic or non-emotional and disregard their children. We know that. Humans can do that shit too. But that's how you know. Have you ever seen a baby animal? They just as cute as they want to be. we feel that way about baby animals, even the worst of animals. I see, like when I looked on TV and I saw the mother give birth to her possums or whatever on YouTube. I cannot stand possums. Hell no. But the baby possum was beautiful. That was a beautiful sight to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like where I grew up, I mean, we just seen possums. You'll see them going across the street because they always have their kids on their back. I'm stopping my car and giving her the right of way. I do that with the geese that's down the street from me. And it's so funny. It's always that one male geese that come and stand in front of your car like he like he the what you got, safeguard, safety guard or whatever for you to cross the street, and they just be taking their time, and I be like, oh Lord. But I swear I would get mad as hell if somebody was to try to run them over or something. I fully stop, and I ain't in no rush because they're escorting their women folk and their children, and guess what? The children is the one that be curious and be hanging in the street. And that's when I toot the horn, and you will hear the adult male be like, you know, they be saying whatever. Like basically get your ass over, you know, across the street, or they be talking to us like, don't move. Animals have feelings, y'all. They are emotional. Just like us. And you're not supposed to eat that. We're not apex predators. We're herbivores. You got to understand your body completely when you talk about wellness. Like I said, it's the overall health. If you understand your body and how it works and what it likes. See, me, I gave the example about the lady who found out that ketchup don't like her. I like ketchup. Ketchup don't do nothing to me. I don't. Ketchup is very acidic, and you don't want your body to be acidic. But ketchup don't do nothing to me. When your body is acidic, i.e. pimples, all kinds of other shit, it's toxic as hell. So ketchup, you shouldn't really want to eat it, but people like tomatoes. I'm actually allergic to tomatoes, but I eat them. I just don't eat them consistently. Because now that I know, I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody taking care of that grass over there is starting to get to me. But now that I know, because I had to take an allergy test, that I'm allergic to tomatoes. I know I can't eat them every day. And I used to. That's what I mean by autoimmune disorder, y'all. The grass be killing me, even in the winter. But I'm allergic to tomatoes. And if I ate them every day, I would have serious problems. But I don't. So I eat them every now and then. Even if when I was on my eat a salad a day tip, I would be like, you know, I'll give me a good salad, having a little crushed tomatoes. But then the next 4 or 5 days, no, I wouldn't put no tomatoes in it. Or maybe I eat tomatoes once or twice a month in my salad. But I like tomatoes. But it don't like me. And when I found that out, I had to make a decision that either I'm gonna stop eating them forever, which I found like, damn, there's so many reasons to eat a tomato, which would have been hard for me, or I'm gonna control how much I intake, and that's what I decided to do. So whatever kind of damage it can do, it'll be on such a slow, snail pace of damage, or none at all, because I don't eat it enough to cause damage. I'm also lactose intolerant. So for years, and I love cheese. That was the hardest part about this slow walking thing. I had to give up. I love cheese. I just don't do cheese anymore. I try not to. Like if I eat a salad though, and I want to put some cheese on it, yeah. Or when I cheat And I go, if I'm a cheat, I'm a cheat. I'm gonna go do it big. And that's the beautiful thing about my program. Every now and then you'll find yourself, you might cheat. But as long as you don't stay in that zone forever, sometimes you fall off the horse. All you gotta do is get back on it and just coast it out. You know what I'm saying? Macadocious Mac of the South says, salute the lovely and beautiful Madame Queen Miss T. Salute to you too, King. So let's say after I get out the show, I'll be like, fuck that, man. I want to go get something to eat for real. And I go get something to eat. And I just sit down and have a good time. Normally when I cheat, I go get some chicken wings because I love chicken wings. I get the flats only. So I'm sitting up there just chowing down on the chicken wings, right? And then I feel bad, like shit, I cheated. Guess what? Within that hour, I'm back on. It's not the end of the world. It's when you cheat and then say, oh, I'm just keep cheating, keep cheating, keep cheating. Because sometimes the body is so complex and does things that even I can't give you an explanation for. Like I said, I've fell off the wagon and cheated like a whole day and a half or something. And be like, I don't even want to weigh myself the next week, or I don't even want to get on scale because I know I'm going to be behind. And I fucked around and was like, fuck it. After 2 days, I'd be like, let me go weigh myself, just knowing that I done put on whatever. And nope, I actually lost 10 pounds or 8 pounds. I'd be like, what? So it sometimes to do that, I can sort of explain that, but that's not for here. I can sort of explain that. And I can paint the picture because but it doesn't really change nothing here. It's like understanding how your body works completely is going to help you, you know, get more healthier. And you should always want to be on a journey to get healthier, not just fix certain problems. Get healthier, because a healthy body is a strong, strengthened, thin, beautiful physique. A healthy body. That's what a healthy body looks like. So you don't even have to do all this extra stuff over here to get that look. All you gotta do is become a healthy body. See how that connection don't be per se gleaned from everybody. Because people think, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta go in the gym, I gotta go lift these weights, I gotta do this just to get that look, that body look I want. Just get a healthy body. You don't have to do shit to get that, because that's the byproduct of having a healthy body. The next thing, your physique and your physical limitations. You gotta know your physique and your physical limitations. When I was young, I used to say, "Damn, if I look at a weight, I'm gonna get a muscle, because I'm naturally muscular. I'm naturally muscular, so it don't take much. I can go in the gym, start lifting within a couple of weeks, boom. And I know people, especially women, we lose our muscles a lot of percentages, like close to 50% by the time we 40. So I'm past 40, and so I have lost muscle starting around the age of 30 for women. Men a little bit older, but you start losing muscle, and that's when you start morphing into something soft and supple. Your physique ain't like it was when you was young. But again, some of us can, go in the gym within a week or two, you're gonna see muscle on me. I don't have to do much. I don't even have to lift nothing heavy. It's just the way it is. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I was always muscular. Um, I did not have a docile look because I was always tall too, 5'10", and I had a muscular build. And like I said, you can go and do strength training, ladies. Unless you're taking some kind of drug, you're not gonna look like a dude at all. You got to get that one out your mind. You have to get that one out your mind. It's like low key men want you to go in and do strength training. But then sometimes, guys, y'all got to understand some things y'all say can completely derail a woman. So, making a joke of any kind about a woman doing strength training, you're a derailer. She'll never want to do it again. especially if she care for you or love you or want to please you. She'll never want to do it again. So even talk to your daughters. Men, you gotta help in your family, the women in your family understand that strength training is a good thing. So that's why I said when you talk to your daughters, if you teach them not to worry about what a person's opinion is when they're doing something that's right, then that will go a long way. So that these are like smaller areas. Your daughter might enjoy lifting weights or whatever. Be like, if you think you're gonna look like a man, don't worry about it, because unless you're taking absolute steroid drugs, nothing's gonna happen. And that is a fact. So let the women in your family know that, man. And change just how you talk to women in regards to certain things, because strength training is necessary and good. Besides, y'all like y'all woman fit, right? Y'all like her to have, tight skin and tight little muscles. You don't want no flabby, shakeable skin. Talk your women into doing strength training. But know what you're doing, ladies. Know what you're doing. Your reps and your sets are not going to be like his. Men can do 8 reps, and 9 times they doing it because they want to bulk up. You want to do 12 or 15. You just want to tighten up and strengthen up. So and do exercise where you resist your resistance is your own body weight. But again, to do my program, you don't need to exercise. That can come later. But I want to make it clear to the person, shout out to them for emailing me that question. I do not have a feeling of anti-exercise. I completely advocate for exercise. I'm just telling you, when you do my program in the beginning, you don't have to do that. That's something you're gonna do on the end. And guess what? After you do my program and you get to that part where you want to add it in the end, you're gonna have so much damn energy. It's gonna think you high. For those of you who have never tried this before, that feeling, that high feeling, you cannot. I wish I could bottle it up. And I've smoked weed, so I know how I feel to be high. And I've attempted to try to drink. I don't drink though. I attempted years and years ago, but shit, decades ago. I just don't drink. But that buzz feeling, mainly I can talk about like the weed thing, like how you get high with weed, is better than that. Food high is better than that shit. You have to do it to believe it. I can tell you, you will never believe me until you do it on your own. But you you cannot get that high off of food until you eat all the right food. You're never gonna see it eating a cheeseburger here or drinking some coffee or that doing a little when you totally go through the journey like all the way one ingredient type food, when you totally do that, I'm telling you, that food high, shit, I would be a millionaire, probably a billionaire if I could bottle it up and sell it. It's so beautiful. It's the perfect high. It's a wonderful feeling. I just can't speak enough about it. But like I said, know your physique and your limitations. Like I have a bad heart. Why? Because I had thyroid cancer. Once you remove organs, other organs have to take over and do the job of the organ you lost. And then that extra work, you overworking your heart. And yeah, my heart got damaged. So I I can't fuck around. I can't go back and correct it. That's what I'm saying. But I do have to maintain it, and that's why I said I had to learn how to try something different. So food, you have to figure out what food like you, and this is what this journey is about. This is what my journey is about. You have to figure out what food likes your body versus what don't like your body. I gave the example of the ketchup. Some people can't handle ketchup. When you take it out your diet and you don't eat it for like a while, and then you start feeling better, but you're not noticing because you're not paying attention to detail. Then You try to add it back in your diet during phase two, but because that's when we add one thing at a time. We pay attention to detail. We write everything down. And we be honest at how that food made us feel. You add this ketchup in. Next thing you know, as soon as you eat it, you like, you're doing stupid. You're not even thinking. That shit got me itching. You didn't even think of that. You ain't think of it. You've been going through it so long, you conditioned to the shit. That's what I mean by the food. What food likes you? What food don't like you? That's what I mean by that too. Um, that's what my program attempts to figure out. What food don't like you? Because it's the food that don't like you that be doing the damage to you. Oh, food can damage you now. They'll get on you. Figuring a path forward that you can do. That's another thing we attempt to do. Okay, you might I might make you up a program specifically for you. You do the program and you do know that you can do that program for the rest of your life and you'll be just as healthy, probably live longer, correct a whole bunch of shit. But that might not be what you desire. You know what I'm saying? Cuz I like food too, yeah. I like the American food too. So I know that I'm going to go back eating some things, but I needed to see what those some things would be. That's why I know if I ever cheat, I know I can eat chicken wings. That's nothing to me. Nothing. It probably let me correct myself. It probably prevents me from um steady dropping weight or whatever. It probably do. But because and it probably slowing up my filtering system and my metabolism, and that's probably why I can it can prevent me a lot more from losing weight or whatever. But it doesn't do anything harmful to me. That's what I mean by it does nothing to me. But I would not go and eat fried chicken. I won't do that. I won't do that because that'll do something to me. My chest get the feeling tight. I be thinking it's gas or I don't know what it is, but I don't like that feeling. It's the maybe it's the enriched flour that's used to coat the chicken before they fry it. Maybe. But I don't do the fried chicken. I do barbecue chicken, but not fried. So I'm like, okay, okay. Now I know what food does to me and what don't. For the rest of my life, fried chicken will be something I eat, at least a week, at least a week, sometimes less. But I can't eat it every day. That I can't do. And every now, like once it probably if I had my way, I could do fried chicken once a week, tuna fish once a week, turkey once a week. But how I do them, you want to do your anything that has more carbs or something, you want to do that early in the morning. So like if you're eating fruit has a lot of carbs. They can be sweet, but that's that good sugar. You can't OD on God's sugar. That good sugar that come out the gram. So if you want to eat, some good sugar, because that is sugar. If you chew it and eat it, it will hit the stomach, which will set the pancreas off, which will release insulin per three sugar molecules. You want to go and bypass that, then you juice it. I know some people be like, I can't do that. But look, this is beets, carrots, and what's the other vegetable? Beets, carrot, and spinach. And I don't know if I can show you. Like, it don't look that pretty, but it's a juice I made. It's also apples, oranges, and pears, and grapes. That's a lot, right? I mix all that shit up together, and I drink it. I'm eating the whole meal. I'm eating the whole meal. Why do I choose that? I explained that before. What works for you? Know your body, know your physique. Well, I also know that if you do not engage the stomach in any kind of hormone activity, i.e., by eating, yes, your pancreas will pick that up too by juicing, because when you juice, it goes right into the cell. It doesn't go in the stomach. When you eat it and chew it up, you swallow it, it goes into the stomach. It goes through different processes, and eventually it makes its way to the cell, to be absorbed, to be used. This way, when you juice it, it's like the proverbial, do I want to get the shot or do I want to take the pill? If I take the shot, it goes right into the blood. Take the pill, it'll eventually get there. So for me, this is more like the shot. That's all. You can eat however I can do recipes for you just for eating too as well. I just prefer that method because it bypasses that, and it helps you produce ghrelin. Because when you don't engage your stomach, eventually ghrelin is gonna come flying out of that pancreas. But while it's waiting to do whatever it's gonna do or send the message to, hey, y'all better go eat something. That's why you get the growls in your stomach. That's how you know that ghrelin has been released in your belly or released in your system. But when ghrelin is released, it's a fat eater. That's another thing that it does. A lot of things your body does more than one. Ghrelin's whole purpose is to let you know that you got to eat something. That satiety is not going down. Um, but that's the only purpose. That's really the main purpose of ghrelin. But it also, while it's released, because it's a hormone, while it's secreted through your system and released, it eats up all the fat. It just can't stop eating fat. So that's the beauty. That's why people fast. That's why people fasting is a good thing. Your body got to go through a whole lot of checks and balances to get healthy and work on itself at night when you sleep. The body is doing a lot of work, a lot of work. So that's why we be talking about drinking water right before you go to sleep and right when you get up. But if you ate the proper food and all that, the body gonna use all that in the middle of the night. You burn approximately like 900 to 1,000 calories every night. You burn more calories. Most people go work out in the gym, just to give y'all a guideline. Most people can work out in the gym and they will do like, uh, let me see, about 150 calories burned. If you count up everything from the treadmill you was on and lifting weights or whatever you did, about 150. I'm telling you, when you have real sleep, when you go through the 4 phases of sleep, real sleep, not a nap, real sleep, you burn 900 calories that whole night. Is it 900 more than 150? Because when you sleep, it's the time when you rejuvenate, you recharge, and this, that, and the other. That needs fuel and energy to do that type of work. If you don't give your body that, you don't, what how is it going to do that work? Or how is that work going to be working on an optimum level? And this is why I talk about, like, change your program, change what you think. You're not obese because you ate your way. You're obese because you ate some stuff that didn't tell you the ingredients, so you couldn't even prepare for it, even if you want. Slow 789 is in the building. What's up? What's up, King? But you're not overweight because you just pulling up to a buffet and just throwing down. You ate some shit that you wasn't prepared for. And you couldn't prepare for it because they didn't tell you what you eating. And that happens in America every day. Boxing matchups, Dwayne Freeman, salute Queen, Miss T. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, King. So basically, we just went through food, wellness, and fitness. Okay. For all the people that's coming in, please hit like and subscribe. The show starts normally at 1 p.m. every Sunday, and we talk about wellness. And I also prepare specific menus or recipes for people to address all kinds of medical issues. I am not a doctor. For those of you just joining me, I'm not a doctor. I play one on TV. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm not a doctor, but I understand certain illnesses because I've either experienced it or have taken classes on it. I'm telling you guys what I know. I'm all into helping people find the health in them. I'm training to be a boxing coach. I help boxers drop weight pretty quick. Um, I have a theory on how you should approach being healthy and in shape. And it starts with finding your health. And the only way you can find your health is to clean your body out. So that's what I specialize in. If you email me and you say, Miss T, as I get a lot, Miss T, I just want to lose 50 pounds. Somebody, a lot of ladies email me this. And I say, so what is your issue? And they will say, my issue is the weight. I just need to lose, whatever. And I'll be like, no, 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 no. And I said, well, think about it. I said, tell you what, get back at me after about a week and you're going to have to pay attention to yourself. What is your main issue? Because if we go on a journey, and this is for those who want to lose weight, I can help you. But if we go on a journey and you say, that's all I want to do, that's my only problem, I'm here to tell you, you're not big because you was an overeater, you pull up in a buffet and this, that, and the other. It can't be. It's too many outliers. When you see somebody who we will dub as having a high metabolism, they can go in and eat all kinds of shit at a buffet all day long, like just a whole bunch of food. They never gain weight. But if they're a woman and I'm a woman, how come that happens for them, but it don't happen for me if we got the same parts? Because life ain't that simple. What's uniquely you is what your body likes and what your body don't. So if you're starving yourself, which most Americans are malnutrition, and I went through early in this video about what malnutrition look like. It can look like something from the Holocaust, something, and that was a terrible thing to happen. But it can look like those people like that. It can look like somebody who's anorexic. It can also look like the person on my 600-pound life. They are the same. They both malnutrition. Mal meaning no nutrition. Most Americans starve themselves to illness, and that's why they have illnesses. So the reason why you probably obese, if there's people out here who's saying, Miss T, give me a recipe to help me with that, you probably have some other problem. And you have to be specific because that's what Miss T is going to address is that problem. For instance, we have people who I'm gonna just say it like this: women problems. Y'all know what that is. And men problems. Now, women got a whole aisle in the store to address like all their issues with their nether regions. Got a whole aisle. Uh, I can concoct recipes to the point where you ain't have that problem no more. That could be your main issue. Okay. But if you tell me you got the issue, more than likely, you will think, like I'm saying, that could be your main issue because that's all you see. We only gonna see what makes us socially inadequate. We don't pay attention to what's really the problem. We just check, oh, I got problems down there. And so when I'm entertaining my guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's the one you see. So then I'll ask a question. I'll say, what other stuff you got? Oh, yeah, I'm balding right here over this side or whatever. You got alopecia? Yeah, a little. I don't know, but I be just missing hair. It almost be looking like I got wingworms or something. I'm like in my head, alopecia. And then they'll say something else like, I'm always cold. Like my feet is always cold. Like, oh God, I be putting the heat on, but I can't stay warm. And I be like, socks don't help. Yeah, socks can help, but my feet is always cold, even when I'm outside. And I was like, okay, now is it cold outside? No, no, these are the conversations that I be having with people locally that I help. So as I'm sitting there taking in all that information, one thing I'm gleaning, this woman's acidic. That's all I heard. She told me she was overweight. She told me she was always cold. She told me a whole lot of shit. But what I heard, which she never told me, but what I heard, she got an acid problem. So we need to figure out what kind of severity she working with that, like what levels of acidity she is. And we could just start treating it acidic problem. But we're gonna do it in a way because and once I find out that that is mainly your problem, I already know what type of food your body likes. Why? Because I do it all the time. I know myself. I know who I help. I'm doing it all the time, y'all. So I just wanted to give y'all a look into how I come up with what I come up with. I'll fix the acidic problem, and men can have acidic problems too, but I'll fix that problem, and then all that stuff that they honed in on and was mostly concentrating on because it affected them socially. That fixes too. So even though she wanted to lose 50 pounds, I didn't approach it from that point of view. We didn't do no exercise. I cleaned her out. I got rid of the toxins and a lot of things too. What women be saying, because again, it's always will wait. But then y'all will say this and say that, and I'm like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And it's be good talk, but then I'll be like, she got a lot of plaque buildup and this that. You don't have to be a doctor to figure out what I'm figuring out. Just so y'all know, I don't want to come off as a doctor. I'm not a doctor. This whole field that I'm talking about, you don't have to be a doctor. We could be everyday regular Americans. And so, like I said, because I had to help myself, it helped me learn about all this stuff. And, I'm happy to share with you guys. I will never have the success that you guys have because the damage was already done to me. But if y'all need help, y'all can email me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. And, like I said, I just sit there and specifically tailor make the solution for you. We do a water check. We talk about just things we do every day. We do a water check. We talk about things we hear on TV, whether it's true or not. I answer questions. I ask you guys to like and subscribe. Cause somebody like, what's the point? Somebody actually sent me an email and said, what's the point? Why are you so sure this works? Somebody asked me and say I write down the question, why are you so sure it works? I help boxers. I've helped you name it. I know it works. Not just sure. I know it works. I've done it for myself. But the problem is you have to want to do it. And I just tell people, like, look, that time gonna pass whether you do it or not. We at the new year, y'all. This when most people make resolutions. So I'm telling you, if you got any family members or anybody, matter of fact, because it's the new year and this is what always hop off, I'll give a discount. It can be pretty expensive depending on what you want me to do. And what I call expensive, is really not that expensive. My programs are like $300 because they come in 3 phases. But since the beginning of the year, I probably do this for a couple of weeks. Anybody who acts now, for help, I'll do a discount, a good discount, like at least 50% or less. I'll do a good discount. Because again, I have to sit down, hear what you have said, tailor make a food routine for you for about a month. I put a lot of information in your package that I send you back, and I detail this is why we doing this. This is why we doing that. And I tell you exactly what to expect, even like through the weeks. What can you expect? Because I tailor make it for yourself. But like I said, I have boxers, help myself. I have other local people. I've had people in my family, and I know it works. And for all the people in my family, shout out to y'all who looking at me on Facebook. If y'all want to get with the pimping, holla at your girl. Holla at your girl. You guys can get a discount too. Anybody in the family that needs some kind of um just some things addressed. But I know like most of the people gonna hit me up for the weight thing. And I was like, oh man, because I'm more into getting you healthy than I am worried about your weight. But I get it. I get it. That's what people want. That's gotta get the people what they want. The customer is always right. So if you know anybody who needs some assistance, somebody who's gonna diligently sit down and work out a program just specifically for you, holla at your girl. You know, tell me what it is. I get to working on it. But you have to, like I said, it's a fee. It's a fee. And right now I'm gonna do a discount. I might do it for the whole month of January, but at least a couple of weeks. So anybody who's calling in now, I'm gonna say starting January 1st, even though that day has gone, because I get emails every day. Anybody who's emailed me for my help starting January 1st, you guys got a discount, big discount. So that's all we're gonna talk about next week. We're gonna talk about the same thing. Keep drinking your water. You should drink, is recommended, half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then that means you should drink 100 ounces of water. But real talk, people who weigh 115 drinks a gallon of water a day. Like I'm talking health nuts. It's possible. It's a good thing. A gallon of water is 128 ounces of water. That's a good thing. But I said, for our slow walking people, that's going on a slow walk journey with me, or I'm doing it a little harder. As I told you, I'm drinking my meal right here, and I'm full, and I got more to drink. But we do what I call a slow walk journey. Well, we didn't totally take everything out. So, and a lot of people do like that. And a lot of you guys be like, I've had success. Y'all feel like it's not much to talk about, but y'all definitely see things. I've had people tell me just doing that clear their face up from pimples. Just you name it. But again, and I can also tell when people got glandular issue because I had the endocrine thing. I just can tell because I know the symptoms. I know, I just know, you've been through some shit. You just know. I was in a group sessions of people who had to go through what I went through, and we had to talk about it because it's hormonal. Um, and I've seen people who worse off than me, and people who fare better than me. I'm gonna give y'all celebrities: Sophia Vergara, the one who played in Modern Family or something. It was a TV show where she married to Al Bundy. What Ed whatever I think his name is Ed something. I don't know. But the guy who played Al Bundy is in that TV show called Modern Problems. His wife on a TV show. She had the same problem I have. But see how hers is better. And she had it young too. Hers is better. It made me gain weight. However, your genetics can take it to a certain severity. It was a girl in the group sessions with me back when I first had my surgery. She was, I seen pictures when she was young, a young white lady, beautiful, beautiful. And I talk about her like she in the past because she is dead now. It fucked her head up that she gained that much weight. She was pushing 500 pounds. She couldn't do anything about it, but that was her genetics. My genetics didn't let me take it that far, but that was her genetics. And then she started taking things that people like us can't take or shouldn't take. And of course, I don't know what exactly happened, but I'm assuming she bust her heart. I don't know, but she died young, left behind a child. She didn't like her life as a woman that weighed that much. Who would? You know what I'm saying? So things like that, the things I've had to go through and see made me dig deep and try to find answers because I knew it was an answer somewhere. And once I was, able to get out the military and be able to do my own thing and study it how I want to, I got my answers. I can tell you right now I have a damaged heart, but my coronary is perfect. My cholesterol is good. Everything about me, like when it comes to the heart, is good. So either I'm maintaining, you know, um, that level, like whatever that's the my heart still has problems. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying, what you can do once you have a problem with your heart, you don't want to make it worse. So that's all you can do is maintain. So that's what I'm doing in my life. I have to maintain. I can't get to a point where I have a coronary issues or blockages of vein of blood flowing through the veins because I got plaque buildup and mucus or something. I can't have those. That I could ill afford because I know I'm gone when that happens. So this is why I do what I do and eat the way I eat. I don't have a thyroid gland, so I don't make metabolism. So when I'm doing this journey, just like y'all, it don't work like that for me. But it works. It works. And y'all will see. But my damage to me is already done. And sometimes I'm on these medications like steroids, not the steroid that bulk you up like you Hulk, but steroids nonetheless that make you eat like a motherfucker and you can't do shit about it. I have to take those sometimes just to live. So I know what I'm talking about, but I'm happy that things will work out better for you guys than me. I'm happy about that because my journey made me learn a lot of stuff. And all I could do is look back and wish I'd have learned, back then. But what I'm happy about is I could pass this on to my kids or my family or people I come in contact with. And they be like, oh, you was right. Again, to my obese people out there, because y'all right in the most. It's not your fault why you obese. And don't let nobody else tell you that or listen to that. What's at fault is you were never properly told how to maintain that. And you wouldn't have never had to maintain it if certain people didn't do business the way they do. And by them not um, having enough room on the label or actually telling the whole truth about what's in the product you about to eat, that was some tomfoolery. You might as well be asleep and they hook up a IV full of sugar and just pump it in you and you not even know. Because that's what you do every time you eat a slice of bread. You don't know how much sugar in there. The bread tells you the X amount of sugar. That's one sugar. All that other bullshit that your body hates, you don't have no idea how much sugar that is. So how can you die from that? How can you say, oh, I'm gonna limit my sugars to this much per day when you don't know how much sugars is in the product? How you count? So just keep that in mind. That's all we was gonna talk about. As always, I will be back here next week at 1 p.m. and we're gonna talk about any questions that you have. We can reiterate this, that, and the other of things. Just so you know, I'm into food and wellness and fitness, and I do advocate for exercise. I love it. I'm a beast. I'm a beast in the gym. But I do say understand your limitations, understand what you can do, and please, by all means, go on the journey. Go on, even if you're doing the free journey, right? I give out the free journey, even if you're doing that, you know. And once again, all the people I did help, because there's a lot of y'all, but y'all don't want to tell a testimony. I will always ask, but I will never violate you and tell your testimony. So, you guys more than welcome to call in or do anything. Tell me your testimony. Let me know. Let us know. Tell the people how it worked for you. Because some of you guys have had me specifically make routines for you. You told me in private, but I need y'all to speak out. Let the other folks know how it worked out for you. But thank you all for watching. And remember, as always, when you know better, you will always do better. Thank y'all for uh any cash apps that you might have left, or whatever. Remember, I use those cash apps to do for the show. Remember, also I'm going to be holding kind of like a raffle again for a 55-inch brand new color TV. My show is putting out that where we had offered it for the holidays, and no one won. So now I just got a big TV sitting around, a nice TV though, and I ain't, I'm not gonna need it. We got too many TVs in my house as it is. I just thought it would be a nice holiday gift or whatever, helping with subscribership and all that. So now I'm gonna offer it, but I think what I'm gonna do is just wait till I get to about 1,200 subscribers, and then I'm gonna ask like 2 or 3 questions that y'all will know just because y'all look at me. And then if you live in the 48 states, yeah, and I will repeat what the contest would be over time. But if you live in the 48 states, I will definitely mail that out to you. Thanks to all the people who did play. Some of you y'all were close. Some of you I could tell that you didn't follow the assignment. I'm gonna say it. That's a nice way I can say it. Um, some of you missed a couple of shows. I know I could tell, and I've written everybody back. I think by now, for the folks who did play and told you whether or not you won or not. Nobody won. But I could probably tell. Um, I just could tell by what you wrote to me, what you caught and what you didn't. But nobody guessed the right answer. So again, I have this TV sitting around, and I'm gonna offer it to the whole channel. And yeah, when I get about 1,200 subscribers, then I'm just randomly ask a question in one of the shows. Whoever email me first to boxingfanstalk@gmail.com, boom, I'll mail you the TV if you give me the right answer. And they ain't gonna be complicated, hard questions. But I could come during this show that's on Sunday, could come through my grown woman talk show on Fridays, or it could come through my Monday through Thursday. Some people is not gonna be able to play. Like people on my panel, y'all not playing. Like who's on my panel consistently, so my grown woman talk, nah, you ain't playing. Everybody else pretty much is, because y'all ain't on here all the time. But anywho, I know I'm running over time. I try to keep it to an hour and a half, but sometimes you just want to make sure everybody on the same page as far as what we talking about. And shout out to everybody who was brave enough to ask for the help, because that's big in itself, and I understand that too. I have, like I said, I will do right by you with your information and everything, and I hope you feel that. And so thank you for giving me an opportunity to help. And this is something I'm passionate about. I will always do it, even if I just help one person, and I know it was relevant for me to do. So salute to y'all. When you know better, you do better. Um, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna talk about these fights that just happened this weekend. So I'll be on tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Peace.